Welcome to the Nightly Rant. I'm Mike.
And I'm Torya.
This is the show where we talk about the awful things that have happened in our day, the awesome things that have happened in our day,
and all the things in between.
Thanks for listening, and we truly hope you enjoy. So I'm not happy about the people who travel around this city.
This city specifically? Or just this entire metropolitan
The metropolitan area. Like,
if you
think about it, like, we always talk about, oh, it's so different here than in Canada. But if you really think about it, the only thing different is your metropolitan areas are smaller. Our metropolitan areas are bigger because we still do have dead space between one metropolitan area and another metropolitan area.
Just barely.
But we have it.
Like 10 feet. In some cases. No feet.
When you leave Los Angeles County and you go to Ventura County, it's like vineyards on either side.
But when you go...
Nothing but vineyards.
But when you go from places in Orange County to, like, Cerritos, there's nothing. The only thing that's there is the freaking riverbed in the middle.
But that's all part of the same metropolitan area.
How?
But when you go all the way down to San Clemente, which is the end of Orange County, and you don't get until Oceanside, which is the beginning of San Diego County, there's nothing but emptiness.
I really like the emptiness. Anyway.
See? Different metropolitan areas. So, okay, who gives a shit? I'm talking about the frickin' green, blue, what's the other color? Or aqua? Expo line one that's aqua colored. It's still a blue. They can't even be creative and get enough. How many freaking colors are there in a crayon box? And they can't get creative and give more than like 4 colors for trains?
But I think that the limitation is that they've also used other colors for buses, like orange and silver. They're buses. Bus lines that attach to the train metro.
Okay, whatever.
But still, yeah, I agree with you. It shouldn't be called Expo. It should be called, like, Teal.
Yeah.
The Teal line.
Yeah, it's stupid. Anyway, why? Like, why do you got the fucking green line, blue line? You got the goddamn red line, purple line, gold line, and then you've got the Expo line.
So do they call it the Expo line because it just goes down to
all the way Exposition Boulevard the whole way.
Is it the only train that goes all the way down one boulevard?
No, because, I mean, the blue line mostly is on that Long Beach Street or Avenue, because there's a Long Beach Boulevard, which is a big street, but then I think it's like Long Beach Street or Long Beach Avenue, and it goes straight down that the whole way. So why isn't it called the Long Beach line? Like, exactly. It's stupid. Anyway, to the point, I had been reading, and as everyone knows who knows us, but those of you who are new, well, you don't know this. I'm going to tell you. I used to go to downtown LA every day, 5 days a week, for a programmer's position at the Los Angeles Superior Court. And I did not want to pay billions of dollars for parking. And I did not want the wear and tear on my car going back and forth. And I didn't really want the stress of the drive.
Of sitting in traffic for 3 hours a day?
Yes. So I chose to take the train from the Norwalk station, which is the green line, to the blue line. And from the blue line to downtown LA to the red or the purple, which would take me to the court. And I did this all the time. And it was packed all the time. But then they started letting sorry people, idiots, walk around blaring music. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be fair about this. I've heard exactly one guy playing the kind of music I listen to, the hardcore music, one guy. And I even thought he was rude. And I liked the music he was playing. Are you getting my point? It's not about what music is being played. It's about the fact that you're not supposed to play it. There's a sign that says $250 fine and 48 hours. Not or and 48 hours community service for doing that.
But let's be real. The type of music is also a factor.
Oh, it's offensive as hell.
I do not want to hear fuck them bitches, fuck them hoes 97,000 times in a row on the freaking train.
You don't?
No!
So you didn't like it when the guy was playing that song with those lyrics and then proceeded to scream them out at the top of his lungs on the train in my ear? You didn't like that?
I think you liked it less than I did.
You didn't like that?
No.
And you didn't like when he was waving his phone on the side of my head? You didn't like that?
But you know what I do like? And
then you tell me what? What was on the phone? Tell them what was on the phone that he was trying to smack me in the head with. Tell them.
His dollar bills.
Yes! He was screaming about money, money, money. Bitches and hoes. Money, 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 money. Now, I'm sorry, people, but that's what he was screaming about. We're going to have to explicit lyric this one.
He tonight. Also, let's start with the fact that this is a big old Hispanic guy. He's, like, super tall.
If you say so.
He looked like he was, like, 6'3". A little bit taller than you.
Maybe.
Maybe not like a giant. Anyway, big old Hispanic guy. And he's playing typical rap music filled with a lovely word beginning with the letter N.
Yes, over and over the N, N, N. N, 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 N. N, N, N.
On a train that is at least 50% black people.
And it's saying, like, you know, the bitches and the hoes make the ends go, blah, blah, blah. But then they see the money, so the ends say something else. And everything is the N this and the N that. And N, 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 over and over and over again. So finally,
a black guy who had gotten on the train got super offended and sick of this dude's shit. Rightfully so. He was irritating and offensive.
Yes, he was.
Comes up and he's like, you don't need to be saying those words. Kind of sensitive to those words. And then the dude didn't listen to him. What did he say after that? He said
that some people just don't have respect for other people.
Yep.
And the whole while I'm sitting there, I'm going to sound like a stupid freaking nerd, but the whole while I'm sitting there listening to this go down, I'm thinking to myself, this is what's wrong with our society. People don't understand that their rights only go so far. You know, like I was telling you today, I can swing my arms around as much as I want, as long as I don't hit you.
You're sitting there thinking
as soon as I hit you, then I've overstepped my boundaries. So people don't know what their rights are and where they start and where they end. And that's why dumbasses blare music like that. And come on, they don't even think. What about the dude that we saw? We'll come back to this one in a second. But what about the dude we saw that he had that nice big dog? He had the little tiny dog. He was there with his other homeless looking girlfriend. And he was a homeless looking dude. And what was on his forehead? Just say it. What is it? What?
Tattoo.
A tattoo. And the tattoo had some nice words on it, didn't it?
Didn't it say fuck you?
It said fuck you. On his forehead in blue ink.
Like right between his eyebrows.
Fuck you. Like right there. Like in the little I'm not kidding you. In the little tiny space between like the edges of his eyes. Like where his nose bridge is. It had the words fuck you in there.
Let me give you one more detail about this guy though. We get on the train. Do you remember what you said to me? You said, hey, that guy has a cigarette through his ear.
Yeah.
Like, what?
That's right, I forgot.
And he has a partially smoked cigarette in his pierced ear hole.
Yes. He was one of those dudes who had what are those things called?
So I think he must have had spacers.
They're those spacer things that go in your ear. And looked like must have taken them out of both sides. I didn't see the other side. I only saw the left side. I didn't see the right side. But he had the spacer gone, and he had a whole entire cigarette stuffed through the hole. Just chilling.
I can't.
So that when he's ready to smoke, it's right there in his ear. Literally, in his ear. Now back to the dumbass with the N-word song. Who the hell? First of all, there are signs everywhere let's say it's $250 fine and 48 hours community service. Then they say over the loudspeaker, remember, it's a crime to be playing your music out loud. You must use headphones. And they say this over and over again. But why? Why do you think these people think they can get away with it? Because it reminds me of our entitlement discussion yesterday, but there's a reason why they think they can get away with it.
Because nobody stops them. Exactly.
Because I've even seen the sheriff come on to check tickets. And the dude will be, and he's holding this big old massive speaker on his shoulders. And the cop just comes up and goes, you got your tap card? Yeah, okay, thank you. And he keeps walking. Meanwhile, the guy's sitting there. Now, if that guy didn't have the tap card, then he would have gotten a ticket. But because he had the tap card, he keeps going. Meanwhile, he's playing the loudest rap music you've ever heard in your life on this giant beatbox.
You know what I think is funny? You're sitting there while all of this debacle goes on, thinking about how he's infringing on your rights and everybody else's rights, especially the poor little USC students right
Two little dudes in front of him were going to croak.
And then I am thinking that the guy who's offended and coming up the aisle
is going to kill him.
Like, I honestly think he's going to kill him because he looked like a gangbangery type of dude, and I know that's profiling, but secretly deep down,
you were hoping he was.
The Hispanic dude was so freaking annoying. I was hoping he'd beat the hell out of him. Like,
but then, did you remember what the Hispanic dude did after that, though?
He moved to the very back, I suppose, of the train, where
as close to the door as he could get.
He was facing so he could see if anybody was coming up on him,
and that was so he could make an escape if necessary.
Right.
Like crazy crap went on that train. But the whole thing comes back to, I was reading an article that, and then I told you guys about how I used to go down there. I was reading an article that ridership on the train is way, way down. And they're really concerned. And they're trying to figure out what to do. Well, okay. I'm going to make sure that on Twitter, I tag the effing Metro LA Alerts account to this podcast. Because I'm about to tell them, directly to them, what the problem is.
I think you should also send them a snippet because they're not going to want to listen to our train experience first.
Yeah. But here's the reason that they get away with it. I said it already. Sir, do you have a tap card? Thank you for the tap card, sir. And they walk away. Did he not violate the law? Does the law not say you must use headphones and you cannot be blaring the music?
No judgment if you like your curse word filled rap music. I like music that's full of curse words too. No big deal. But why do you have to molest my auditory canal with your bullshit loudly on the train? Stop it!
Well, I said this at the beginning. To me, I had once where there was a guy that was playing the kind of music I like Terror and War of Ages, that kind of music that I like.
I wouldn't like that either.
Once he did that.
Right.
And I loved the music, but I still thought to myself, somebody should give that guy a ticket. That guy should not be doing that. It's rude. But it was music I like. So the point is, it's not about the kind of music. It could be any kind of music. They could be freaking playing Frank Sinatra. It's annoying people because people don't want to hear it. If they wanted to hear it, they would have that in their headphones.
Now let's take a minute and talk about the other people we saw on the train today. There was the typical headphones and candy seller.
Yes.
Breaking the law.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was the weird perfume seller who got sassed by the lady sitting next to you.
Yes, that was funny.
But then a guy gets on carrying a bunch of CDs with a big black hat on, and I'm like, he's going to try to sell us his CDs, isn't he? I'm just going to die. I
was thinking the same thing.
And I'm looking out the window. I'm not making eye contact. I don't want anything to do with this guy thinking that he's a musician. Leave me alone.
Right.
But you know what? He opened his mouth and he sang for an entire train full of people, which is alarming in itself.
Yeah.
But he was decent.
Credit. Give the man credit.
But he was decent. He deserved the tips he got at the end.
Yeah.
Like...
I completely agree with you.
So is that everybody we met on the train?
Well, yes and no. I mean, I also think, like, what I noticed today, but that's just because I'm so used to being on the train. I don't think it's something you notice on, like, even your 5th trip on the train. But there's the kind of people that they position themselves in a certain spot on the platform, and then they have a move they make when they get on the train to just so that they can get a seat. And half of those people don't care if it's a 95-year-old woman in a wheelchair trying to get a seat. They don't care. They're taking the seat. And
wouldn't the wheelchair woman already have a seat?
Well, you know what I'm saying.
I know.
Let's say she's just shy of a wheelchair.
Okay.
You know, and they just push their way through like they don't care. Or the people who have the habit of when you're getting off the train, they try to get on before you can get off.
Or the people...
And then they give you attitude about it.
Or the people who are unfortunately wide and stand directly in the doorway, and then they get all butthurt when you're not getting off the train fast enough. No. You're in my way. Move.
Yeah, today brought back a lot of memories because I saw all this kind of stuff going on, and like on the way back, there was the Hispanic girl that was right across from you, and when we were in the little center thing.
The turny part?
Yeah.
The bendy part of the train, sorry?
And she had these huge sunglasses on. Been there, seen that before. Huge sunglasses. And I could kind of see into her sunglasses from the side because I'm taller. And she was more in front. Yeah. And she looked a little stoned. My guess is she was probably a little stoned. But then she's wearing like these really tight clothes. And the guy gets on the train. Another idiot with the freaking speaker in his shirt pocket. And at least at first he wasn't singing. But
then he was trying to impress her.
But then he was trying to impress the girl because he looking at her going, oh, she's in tight clothes. Check her out. She's cute. And then all of a sudden he's singing the shit. And he's leaning over to her while he's singing some of the lines, which are kind of perverted to begin with. And he's leaning over, singing to her. And she's giving him this dirty look like, leave me the hell alone.
Right.
So I've seen that before on the train. The wannabe romancer with the kind of chick who, you know, dresses in tight... basically walks around naked and is surprised a man looks at her. Oh my God, a man looked at my naked body.
I forgot about the funniest guy on the train.
Uh-oh.
Do you remember... We saw him in the train station, and then he gets on the train, and I'm like, where the fuck is that squeaking coming from? Bro had 2 bags of balloon animals.
Yeah.
And was assembling more balloon animals
while we were traveling.
While on the train.
Well, how about, and I've seen the dude before when we were on the expo line once before. How about the old dude in the really shiny silver suit?
Whose phone wouldn't work, and he was yelling across the train that his phone wouldn't work?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was interesting.
Quite the character. Like, right? Like, there was characters today.
Yeah. Nothing will ever beat my very first trip on the train.
Now, hold on a second. Before you tell about your very first trip on the train, here in a second, we finally have audio of the Hispanic guy and his money, 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 bitches and hoes song.
Now, I didn't get the good money, 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 bitches and hoes part, but I got the general gist of what he was doing.
Yeah. So we're going to play that for you right now.
And says money, making better money. People look at all them bitches, people like the bunny. Really much you ain't doing shit. Nigga, people looking like you bitches like you ain't shit.
So now you see why we were offended by the music. Because it wasn't just the music. The guy was singing. If you call it that.
Yeah, he was quote-unquote rapping. And
what you guys don't, I don't think you even realized it because I think you were trying to stay away. He was right in my ear. And he did not know at least 75% of the lyrics. So he'd be singing like, you know, I'm just going to ad-lib here, okay? He'd be like, and then they all go on Facebook and talk about the money, 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 the money, 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 the money, 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 bitches and hoes, money, 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 bitches and hoes, humma, 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 humma. He'd literally do that because he didn't know what the rest of the words were.
Yeah.
And that got irritating because he didn't even do it with the harmony of the music. He just kind of, shut up. Kapow. Like, I'm surprised the guy didn't come kick his butt. He deserved his butt kicked.
And it was 2 people who confronted him.
Yes. One nicer than the other by far.
One was very polite and then was just like, well, fuck you, and walked away.
Right.
And then the other one was confrontational. Like, I honestly felt...
I told you my opinion on why that was, though.
I honestly felt like there was about to be a tussle.
I mean, I'll tell you guys. Before I tell you, though, you were going to tell us about your first time on the train.
So. Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't even remember where we went, but we were coming home, and it was later at night. Like, post 11 o'clock later at night.
Dodger game.
That's exactly what it was.
Dodger game. Yep.
Okay. So, we get on the train, and it's pretty much just us. Like, there was a couple of other people.
That was the one we went to with Mitchell and Alyssa. So it was you and me and Mitchell and Alyssa.
They weren't there.
They weren't there?
So
because
then I like to tell them
that's
the
right.
story too.
We drove with Mitchell and Alyssa. Then the second time we went to the game, to the Dodger game, we took the train, and I messed up because I didn't know the right way to go, which now we know the right way to go.
Right.
It's way faster and way less freaky. So we had to go, we basically, just so people know, because you left this part out, we had gone the green line to the blue line to the red line to Union Station. And then we took a bus from Union Station to Dodger Stadium. And then we reversed this, and the first part in Union Station when we were downstairs was the guy hitting on the woman and us laughing about, oh my God, I can't believe the guy's hitting on that woman.
The rapey guy.
She's Victoria saying, that guy's so rapey. That girl's never going to want to talk to him. There's no way. And at first the girl was like, yeah, okay, get away from me. God, you're disgusting. Go away.
And then she was into it.
And then all of a sudden she was like, yeah, I'm just, it's like 4 stops down. You can come on over and bang me if you want.
He was dressed like a 1970s sex pervert.
She was like, come on over. I'll spread my legs for you. I'm ready now. I didn't think so before, but now I do. So then we get to the blue line, and now you can pick up your story.
Okay. I want to
A cat just attacked.
I want to preface this saying I am from a very small, very redneck town in Canada.
Amen.
Okay. And when you come from a very small, very redneck town in Canada, the only impression you have of, like, subways and inner cities is what you see in, like, movies and stuff. And I can't even count the number of movies I saw this exact situation in.
Yeah.
My absolute favorite being Blast from the Past.
Yeah.
When he's walking down the street, and he being assaulted, and he encounters a transvestite hooker who is trying to sell him her body. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're on the train, and it's going along, and then it gets to a stop, and all of a sudden, 3 of them get on the train, and they are every stereotype you can ever imagine from any movie you've ever seen with that type of person in it. I couldn't even handle it. I was dying. It was so funny. And they were like hollering at people and like waving their fingers around. It was funny. They were boisterous. That was the best people of train I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That one was super funny.
I had completely forgotten about the super rapey guy.
Well, yeah, it was funny though, because if you remember, we both were having the conversation, oh my gosh, look at the guy. He's so disgusting. That woman's never going to be interested in him. Then we were like, oh, look, see? She's definitely not interested in him. And she wasn't. She was shutting him down hardcore. Somewhere, he said the right thing. And she was like, she went from, I don't want anything to do with you to, I want you on top of me. Like, right away. It was weird.
I remember now saying to you that she was going to be on the front page of the paper as turning out murdered the next morning.
Yeah, you did say that.
He gave me the heebie of the jeebies.
Me too. You know what? You're usually way more sensitive about that than I am.
Right.
But I gotta tell you, I felt the same way about that dude. That dude disgusted me. Like, there was something wrong with that guy. He was rapey.
Like, there's no other thing to describe it.
Like, today's Hispanic guy was just stupid. Period. Like, he had no respect for other people. He was just stupid. That's the issue with a capital T, capital I. He was stupid. It's not like the rapey guy who was just disgusting pig who, you know, you could definitely see him killing that woman. I was with you on that. I was like, yep, we're going to hear on the news tonight that they found a dead body, like in MacArthur Park.
Do you think the fact that we were underground waiting for a train made him rapier than if we'd have been above ground? Made him seem rapier?
Yes.
Because it's like you're in a cave.
Like, had we met him at the Norwalk station where it's wide open spaces, I don't think we would have cared.
That's fair.
But because we were underground, I also think you're more hypervigilant too when you're underground like that. And so I think maybe we would have still, had we been as hypervigilant above ground, we would have still been bothered by him. But we aren't because you're not as hypervigilant.
I don't know. I can always sense the rapey person.
It's just like at night, okay? But it's just like at night versus during the daytime.
You're on a higher
during
alert.
the daytime, I'm alert. I like to see what's going on around me, but I'm not like, you know, noticing everything that moves. But at nighttime, I am. Yeah. I don't want anyone taking me by surprise at night.
No, I totally get it.
And I think that...
So it was like a triple whammy. First time on the train for me.
Right.
We were in a creepy underground area.
Right.
And it was late at night.
Right.
Like really late at night.
And we had just come off a bus full of Dodger fans.
Well, the bus full of Dodger fans was fine.
They were happy.
Very happy. But...
we won a lot that year. We won even more last year.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Anything else to add to all this?
I don't even know. You said you were going to say something else after we talked about my first time on the train. But I don't know what it was.
Yeah. I have had situations on the train where a little guy will bump up against me, and he was like bumping up against me, and going, "What's the matter, white boy? What's the matter, white boy?" And I stopped him and I go, "Excuse me, do I look like a boy to you?" He didn't know what to say.
Right.
And I said, "So here's the deal. You know, I'm a man. I'm not a boy." And I said, "I'm not stupid. I know you probably have some weapon that I'm supposed to be afraid of. But you know what? If you have a weapon, I'm going to take it and shove it up your ass. Because I don't care." The change in that dude's attitude was like instantaneous. Because you're not afraid of him. And that's what people, like even the Hispanic dude, he was waving that phone on the side of my head to try to intimidate me.
I thought he was too.
I didn't let it intimidate me even a tiny bit. But he tried.
Yeah. And
that's the point. The poor little guys that were from USC that were right in front of him, they were crapping their pants.
Oh my gosh. I don't think you saw the look on their face when the guy was like yelling at him. The island of the train.
Well, yeah,
those two honestly thought they were going to die in the middle of some gunfire.
They did.
I'm pretty you should have seen them, and then you saw them. They like get up and they like galloped off the train.
Yeah, once they got to their stop, they were gone.
They were like gazelles. Zoom!
But that's the thing. I wouldn't let guys like that intimidate me, and it pissed them off.
It's the same kind of thing as when I was waiting for the bus in downtown Lethbridge, and that guy tried to mug me, and I was like, "Fuck you, this is my backpack," and I got on the bus. He stood there stunned as the bus pulled away.
Yeah.
Like...
because you're supposed to be the victim. You're supposed to play the victim. But I'm not going to do that bullshit. Like, I'm not a victim, so I'm not going to play the victim.
Right. Let me just point out, Lethbridge is not nearly as dangerous at night as here is.
Sure
Like-
it is. It's more dangerous. I've been there. They broke into my effing car. That's never happened here.
But the police caught the dude with the Doge.
Yes,
Like-
we talked about this already. Are we going to bore them by repeating it again?
No.
Dudley did right. For once. It was pretty funny.
It's just less likely that the person mugging you in downtown Lethbridge is armed with a gun, and more likely they're armed with a knife.
Well, yeah, that's because you guys are crazy and took all the guns away.
Right. And I felt like in that moment that I could stand off somebody with a gun or with a knife.
Well, sure, because you
With
could have
no
smacked him with a backpack.
Exactly. But here, I feel like that scenario would go very differently, and somebody else would now own my backpack.
It could go very differently. It could.
Yeah.
Not every criminal out on the streets carries a gun.
Well, I understand
Some of
that,
them don't even carry a knife as a weapon. They take a key and sharpen it.
but I feel like I'd
Because
be more
that way-
concerned for my safety here.
But that way, like parents, because a lot of them are younger kids, that way parents, they just see a key ring. They don't look that carefully to see that one of the keys has been sharpened.
Yikes.
They do. They take it to a machine sharpener. And they make like a spike out of the key.
Wow. Can
Your
you
parents
imagine
don't
if you
even
sat
notice.
on your keys wrong?
Yeah. But the parents don't even notice, though. And that's a weapon.
Yeah.
And that's not a gun or a knife. And it's still pretty deadly.
If you get punched in the right spot with it.
But you just have to, in my opinion, you have to approach the situation the way you're the most comfortable. And for me, it was, hey, dude, you're not intimidating me. So how about you stop?
Right.
And like, look, I'm not even trying to intimidate you. I'm making you a promise. If you come at me with a gun, I'm going to take it away from you. I'm going to bend you over and I'm going to take the gun and shove it straight up your ass. And then it's going to depend on you at that point. If you apologize and beg for forgiveness, and I do mean beg, I might not pull the trigger. But hey, if you don't beg well enough, you don't apologize well enough, I am pulling the trigger and it's up your asshole. You know what? You probably won't die.
I don't know. That's going to rip
You'll
a lot of internal
you'll
organs.
probably live. In fact, I'm going to guess 60% chance you're going to live. 40% chance you're going to die. So here's the deal. 60% chance you've got one hell of a screwed up recovery coming up. Where your bung hole's ripped open by a bullet.
You're going to be pooping into a plastic bag, my friend.
They're going to need to reseal those tubes in there and things. Like, seriously,
Yeah.
dude. Like, that's a disaster waiting to happen right there. That's a total disaster waiting to happen.
Okay.
So,
We have to move on
my
to the butthole.
my point my point in bringing that up, that was just that you can't let them... I'm not trying to intimidate you. I'm promising you that that's what I'm going to do to you. You're just bumping into me because you're trying to intimidate me. You never have any intention. You just want me to be all scared of you. Well, I'm not scared of you. I'm going to
Right.
show you I'm not scared of you. And then guess what happens? Next time you see the dude on the train, he practically runs away from me.
Right. Yeah.
The only one we didn't really experience today that I used to experience all the time was the people trying to push their way on the train while we were getting off.
There
And
was
that's
only
because there
one
weren't-
guy.
And that's because this was not very crowded.
No. The only time it was crowded, we were the ones getting on the train.
Yeah.
There was only one guy who pushed past me while I was still trying to get off the train.
Yeah, I didn't have anybody.
The last time we went on the train, it happened every 3 seconds.
But thanks for reminding me that that's what I wanted to talk about. That was important. So, anyway,
Clearly we had an adventure today.
we did, but we always have adventures together. It's fun.
Yes. Now I'm very exhausted.
Got to see Ashley.
Yep.
That was a nice trip for that.
Uh-huh.
And it was fun, actually, when you think about it. We're here ranting about these people, but more or less what we're doing, in my opinion, is we're getting out of our head what was in our head the whole time this was going on. Like me, I'm sitting there looking at the sign going, "You're so stupid. It says you're going to go to jail. What's wrong with you? I don't want to go to jail, so why do you want to go to jail?" And then you know what? That's the guy, that Hispanic guy's going to be on the TV one day going, "Oh, well, they targeted me because I'm I'm a Hispanic guy, and that's why they targeted me. No, they targeted you because you walk around breaking the law 24/7. And I'm not saying all Hispanic people, I'm saying that guy. And I don't care if he was black, white, green, purple, yellow, orange, brown, name a color, he can be it. As long as he acts the way he's acting, he brought that on himself if he goes to jail.
I agree with you. He's obnoxious.
Like that is not how a human being acts. And you know what's funny? Like I said to you, the first train that we got on, there was the dude with the music, and I think that guy's a little off mentally. The first
guy? The one with the giant bag of cans?
Yes. He was a little weird. But the black lady that was over there, he was a black guy, and this black lady was like, she looked right at me. This is why I don't like riding these trains, because they got these crazy folk on here, and they play their loud music and annoy me. I was like, you're right. It has nothing, again, it has zero to do with what race, religion, color, doesn't matter what you are. You should respect, and it doesn't matter what kind of music you're listening to, you should respect other people that they don't want to listen to your screechy music. And other people are going to be mad at you if they have to listen to your loud, screechy music. And they don't care whether your loud, screechy music is the Bee Gees, Frank Sinatra, or NWA. Nobody cares. It's the fact that you're putting noise pollution into our heads that we don't need to hear and we didn't intend to hear.
If I want to listen to really, really loud music, I'm going to do it in the comfort of my own headphones.
Exactly. With the music you choose.
Precisely. Because I'm fully aware that nobody else wants to listen to my playlist.
I just don't understand that. It just doesn't compute for me. And that's what I sit there thinking when I see this stuff going on. And it makes me irritated, and I get riled up like I am right now. And I get wound up, and then it just comes out of my mouth like diarrhea.
With that, I think
it's time to say goodnight.
Good night, everyone.
Hasta la bye-bye. Hey, this is Mike, and I just wanted to tell you that if you enjoyed the show, and I truly hope you did, you can subscribe on iTunes or Google Play and not miss a single episode. But if you happened to miss an episode, and you didn't find it on Google Play or iTunes for some reason, you could go to our website, which is theNightlyRant.wordpress.com.